If you and your partner have been overwhelmed by your debts, know that you can overcome it together without the stress, anxiety, or arguments. In this video, we'll dive into what's actually causing your financial stress and how you can work on it together and clear your debts together in 3 steps. Let's dive into it. After coaching Filipino professionals for over 4 years now to clear their debts, to build sustainable money habits, I noticed that what's actually causing your financial stress is not the actual debt itself, but the negative associations or consequences around it. So the 3 things that's actually causing your financial stress is first, not knowing what to do. You feel so overwhelmed with so many tips out there or like what everyone is telling you that it just leaves you in analysis paralysis or constantly doubting if you're doing what's right for each other to pay off your debt. Second, the hours of trial and error because you're like, wait, I've done this, it didn't work. Let me try this again and then it didn't work. And then you're just in this cycle of shame or cycle of frustration that you've been trying. There's so many hours that you've spent trial and error, but it's still not working. Third is not feeling supported by each other. And that's the biggest one that I see because sometimes you're already clashing with, no, do it this way. No, it should be this way. No, let's try this way. And it's like the effect of being in that hours of trial and error, months of trial and error, weeks of trying to do so many things and trying to follow what everyone is saying or what all kinds of financial tips are telling you. But you're like, okay, so what should we do? In the end, you don't feel like you're supporting each other, and that really amplifies the stress. And so when you think about it, it's not the actual debt that's causing you stress, it's how you're handling it together. What I notice is that you may feel lost about what to do because you're like, okay, I've increased my income, I've had extra income, maybe you've started part-time jobs or side hustles and you're like, wait, how come my debts are still not decreasing and I still have little to no savings, and you feel lost. I thought if I earned more, it would help me clear my debts faster. I thought it would pay off our debts faster. And then you're probably so overwhelmed with trying to consume so many tips on social media, probably reading financial books also, but then you're still wondering, is this gonna apply to my unique financial situation? Is this gonna work for our life stage and life goals right now? Because you're probably both exhausted already with the trial and an error, and you don't want to make the same mistake, or you don't want things to fail again. Or it doesn't help that you and your partner may have conflicting views about money, or like you're both tired of, we're gonna try this budgeting hack again that's so time consuming, we're gonna track our receipts again, we're gonna track our daily expenses again and feel guilty. And that time that you take trying so many things, trying so many budgeting hacks with no real progress can really amplify that financial stress. So now let me tell you how I guide my clients exactly to overcome these stressors and actually take concrete steps and see progress with clearing their debts. The first step is identify the spending problem that's causing the delay of your debts. For example, I have this client who've had the constant urge to just spend all of her money for retail therapy, impulsive buying. So it explains why their debts are not decreasing even though their salaries have increased. And this urge to spend all of her money is rooted in something deeper, because when I guided her in digging deeper in uncovering what is causing that urge, she realized that seeing money in her bank account or seeing more money brings her back to her childhood, where more money in her family caused more chaos, it caused more greed, it caused more arguments and fights and anxiety. And she's like, I don't want that chaos in my life, so let me just spend all my money to avoid that stress. And this is something that is subconscious. It's not something that you tell yourself consciously like, oh, I want to spend all of my money because I don't want chaos in my family, just like how I experienced it in my childhood. You don't say that blatantly and consciously. That's why I say that 90% of your purchasing decisions are not conscious decisions. They come from your subconscious mind, where those sneaky thoughts and beliefs around money have been ingrained from your childhood. And so this is why you need to do the mindset work in understanding what has put me in this debt cycle and how can I reframe those events from my life so that I could break free from these toxic spending patterns. Another example is a client who's been so used to prioritizing everyone's needs above above her own, and that created a pattern of overgiving, even if it meant compromising her savings, even if it meant I'll just delay my debt payments so that I could say yes to my family, so that I could say yes to this, even though it would compromise my financial well-being. When I helped her dig deep and reflect, she realized that it comes from the belief that I grew up needing to please my family in order to earn love, in order to feel loved. And so that's why subconsciously she's like, I need to keep saying yes to my family because that's how I will feel loved by them. Only when you really uncover this deeper subconscious belief around money, that's only when you'll really break the cycle of your debts for good. That you'll finally stop getting more loan to pay off your loans. You'll finally stop wondering like, how come I'm still in this cycle of debt despite having an increase in my income, despite having extra income. This is what I guide my clients with as a money mindset and life coach, so that they could finally heal those money wounds from the past and therefore move forward feeling able to make wiser money decisions and clear their debts sustainably. I remember when a client told me like, if I didn't have the safe space to actually reflect on these patterns, on these beliefs, then I would still be in that cycle of debt, wondering like I'm still earning more, but my debts are not decreasing. It's because I guide my clients with proven self-reflection tools and science-backed mindset exercises to tap into their subconscious mind for them to uncover what are those limiting beliefs I have around money, how can I challenge them, how can I look for evidence against it, and how can I create more empowering beliefs around money. Because ultimately, that's what shapes your spending behavior. That's what shapes your money decisions. I dive into this deeper inside my free 90-minute training on how to multiply one income stream without hustling more, with so many more case studies, examples, and also diving into my frameworks on how it could also apply to you, how it could also work for you. Link in bio to access that free training right now, because I get you that you've been tired and frustrated. You're like, I don't want to fail again. I don't want things to not work out again because I've been trying and I'm tired. And that's what my clients tell me. It's like, I just don't want to do something only for it to fail again, because I don't want to feel shame and guilt and regret all over again because of my debts. And so I believe it starts with having that awareness around what's been stopping you, what's been causing that delay. And that free 90-minute training could really be that eye-opening moment, wake up call for you to really understand what needs to change. How do you improve your spending patterns and habits and decisions, your mindset around money, so that ultimately you get to clear your debts sustainably. You get to pay them off in a way that doesn't feel like a burden, but it's something that becomes empowering. So check the link in the bio to access that free training, and I look forward to hearing your insights from that. Second step to clear your debts together as a couple is to map out your dream life together with concrete goals and milestones. Most likely, you're both lost with what to do with your finances because you haven't clearly defined a vision for your future together. You're probably stuck on just, we need to pay off these debts. Or you're probably stuck on, we just need to save for the wedding. You're probably just stuck on, hey, we just need to cover these monthly expenses. And it's not particularly exciting. It's more stressful. Like, that's what my clients tell me. Like, even if they're planning for their wedding, they're saving for their wedding, how come it feels more like a burden than a milestone that they're celebrating? And so that's why I love to guide my clients in really envisioning a future that they're excited about, that they're empowered by, that they actually see that it's achievable. Because most of the times my clients with debts, they're like, I don't see what's after this. Like, I just want to pay them off. And that is the problem. When you're so focused on the debt, that problem grows. But when you are focused on something exciting after that, then it becomes a empowering process. It becomes a natural part of the process that you just do. The problem that my clients face is, I can't dream. Like, I don't know what I want for myself. I just feel so buried, and I feel like I'm just drowning with these debts. That's why I love to provide the self-reflection tools, the safe space, the coaching support, the mindset exercises for them to really tune in within themselves, to really reflect and dig deeper into like, what is it that I want out of life? What do we want out of life together? Because that's only when you get to really see money as a tool to get there, instead of money feeling like a chore and a burden because you're held back by your debts. Like, for example, I have this client who she and her partner have been wanting to save up for med school. It's been their dream together to become doctors. And they've realized they've been postponing that dream because it feels so far away, it feels so impossible. And what happened was they ended up settling for small rewards, instant gratification, because they were craving for that excitement and fulfillment that they were not getting. This is what happens when you don't have these big goals and concrete milestones to look forward to. You just settle for what's easily available, what's just right in front of you. But ultimately, they don't give you that lasting fulfillment and joy that you're truly looking for. But when I guide my clients with figuring out what they truly want out of life, having that concrete timeline, milestones, goals for themselves, they get to actually use money as a tool to get there. They get to create a shared vision for their future. And like, for example, for that client, what happened was they realized like we need to agree that we want to focus on funding our med school dream. And that's what led them to find excitement again with their money, knowing that every time we pay off our debt one at a time, it's going to lead us to that dream. And we get to say no to just distractions. We get to say no to what doesn't serve this dream. It becomes so much easier to prioritize what's truly important to you instead of feeling like, oh, I need to sacrifice, I need to deprive myself to pay off my debts. It's just not sustainable. And that's ultimately what I help my clients with, is to create that healthier relationship with money. Because oftentimes we think like, oh, if I have these financial responsibilities, I can't live my life to the fullest, or I can't enjoy my life. But it's actually the opposite. When you know how to manage your money properly and you have the healthy mindset around managing it, then you will realize that money actually is a tool for you to fast track what you truly want out of life. And it starts with knowing what you truly want out of life, so that becomes your target, so that becomes something that motivates you to manage your finances better. And that leads me to the third step for you to clear your debts together, and that is to simplify your financial system instead of using time-consuming financial trackers. Because what I noticed is that tracking every single expense, recording all of the receipts, and having these extensive, complicated financial trackers with all of the graphs and formulas often cause unnecessary stress for both of you, because you're like, wait, we didn't track this. Wait, have you taken note of that expense? Wait, have you already inputted that in our financial tracker? Like, all of these unnecessary things that cause more friction and more burden for both of you. And what I say all the time is like, if you're already overwhelmed with all of these trackers and all of these budgeting hacks, what you need is to simplify things. Simplify how you manage your finances and how your financial system looks like. That's why when my clients join my program, they're like, wait, it could be this simple. Like, I don't need all of the bells and whistles and all of the graphs and all of the formulas that only overwhelm me, when it could be simple. And when it's simple, it becomes enjoyable. And when it's enjoyable, it becomes easy to stick to. That's why I guide my clients with my 15-minute sustainable financial system that only takes them 15 minutes twice a month to do. And I remember a client told me like her partner used to be like someone who avoided money conversations, who just dreaded like, oh, we have to track this again, oh, we need to do this again. It used to be such a burden for her partner. But when she learned how to apply this 15-minute sustainable financial system, all of a sudden her partner got excited to join in the task. Her partner even initiated like, oh, I can do we can do our financial check-in already. I can be the one to do that. I can take initiative on that. And I remember like that was such a huge win and such a huge transformation, because instead of their financial system working against them, it's actually working for them. And that's the power of being able to simplify your financial system, because it goes hand in hand, right? Like, as I mentioned, like, you need to first address like what is the root issue that's causing the spending problem, that's causing the delay of the debt payments. And then from there, having those concrete goals and milestones to look forward to, so that you're not just stuck on, I need to pay off my debts. And then, of course, having a concrete, tangible financial system that would allow you to fast track paying off those debts, but at the same time feel empowered that you're not just here to clear your debts, but you're actually here to build your future together. And that's why I love giving my clients personalized financial audits on their systems, on their cash flow and how to allocate it better in line with them as a couple, in line with their vision, in line with their life goals, and how they can better manage their cash flow every month, not only to clear their debts, but also to fund the things that they are looking forward to in their future. And if you'd like to experience this for yourself because you have the right guidance, expert feedback, proven frameworks to follow, then I would love to coach you next inside my coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. This is where I've helped over 100 Filipino professionals already to multiply one income stream by building sustainable money habits and systems for funding their next life milestones. And this is for you if you want to have that clear roadmap to clear off your debts while at the same time being able to feel secure about your future, enjoy the present, not feel deprived while paying off your debts, because you have a clear roadmap for funding your next major life milestones together as an individual and as a couple. There are now 2 ways that you can work with me inside my coaching program depending on your budget, your preference, your goals, and your needs. First is I have a group coaching package. Second is my one-on-one coaching package. Check the link in my bio for all of the rates and inclusions for joining my coaching program, and get ready to join us before the year ends so that you can finally eliminate the stress and anxiety around your debts because you have followed a proven process for breaking the cycle of your debts for good. Then make sure you watch this video of my client who was able to fund her dream wedding without debts, without the financial stress. You're going to be so inspired. So check that out and I will see you there.